Obama's flies. We're going to talk about people who are like a fly that just fly around like a annoying little insect. That's what we're talking about. But it's Obama's little flying insects or little moving around insects. People that follow Obama are basically his group of flies. So I didn't vote for Obama not once, not even twice. So I don't know what people were doing, voting for him one time and then voting for him a second time, going seven years to where we're at now, basically, and the whole world is on fire. Every shit has hit every single fan known and possible up to this point, and you can probably predict if you know that much about foreign things going on, other countries or whatnot. If you knew enough about the world, you could probably predict Obama's next move was going to be helping the enemy, thinking that terrorists need to be let go of Guantanamo Bay. We need to try them over here as U.S. citizens, and give them citizens' rights because foreigners deserve American constitutional rights, right? That's what Obama started thinking from the beginning. So that's why this latest shooting thing that occurred, he doesn't look at that guy any different than any American, even though the guy is not American. So if he was 26 years old and he had been in the United States, the guy who just shot up UCC, he had been in the United States for about 12 years. So he would have been about 14. So he had a good amount of time to grow up over in England and figure out a fascist type of philosophy, much like somebody who's in the White House today who hates America. You can only tell that he hates America and he goes after American sovereignty. He goes after individual Americans' rights. He tries to give America away. So as much as possible, as much as he can before he's gone, he's going to get even with America because America deserves it. America deserves to get the wrath of Obama. That's how he and other terrorists, other Muslim type of radical terrorists like this guy who shot up UCC, no different than Obama. They run on they're the same kind. So that's why he sits around there and waits for certain things to take place like that, and then he goes and makes a big spectacle. The media follows him on it because, whatever motivates the media, the mainstream media, to be the biggest backstabbers, to sit there and watch with their own eyes the decay of America and it going straight into a toilet. But for whatever reason, the media, they they were probably born here. So you got people who are born here that are sitting there. They're Obama's flies. They're sitting there watching this place deteriorate, and they're letting Obama get away with preaching that we did something wrong. Are we guilty of something? We were all born here and raised here in America. Some of us in the military, even. So you tell me what America is guilty of. Obama is the type of person I know for a fact that believes that 9/11 was deserving because of American uh, allied with Israel policies. So Obama sits around there and he waits for certain things like this. And this guy wasn't even an American. So I'm going to do my first screen share. I want to show this right here, what some people are saying here. You see this anomalous, or whoever the hell this idiot is, puke, dumb idiot. They're calling it ISIS equals Obama's army. Now you tell me, is Obama my president? Is he your president? He's not my president. If he helps my enemy, he's my enemy. And you dumb idiots are following him, a fascist, Nazi, warmongering idiot. He didn't say he wanted to get us out of war. He wanted to get us out of Iraq because we were pinned against his ally, his friends. You see this? This other idiot right here talking. I don't know if this guy did or not, but I know this individual with that face or whatever, retard, avatar, whatever the hell you call that. He is an asshole. He is talking this crap with these other people, calling ISIS Israel's Secret Intelligence Service. Can you believe that? So 7 years, the president of Israel himself has been sitting there talking, talking as much mad crap as I do, right, about Obama. He's talking. The Israel Prime Minister talks as much crap to Obama's face. He goes to his face and even talks to his face. The guy is obviously got enough cools to keep from hitting Obama. Of course, that would be a pretty bad thing. But I said over and over again repeatedly that you got to vote for me as president right now in the next election. Otherwise, you won't see me unless I can invite him to the White House or something like that after I become president. I'm gonna punch him. I'm gonna punch Obama. I'm gonna get my ducks in line and make sure everything on my side is legit and taken care of, and then I'm gonna punch him as soon as they um, elect me. And he's on his way out, and I'm on my way in. I'm gonna deck the guy. So I have to show some people some of the moronic, most moron stuff that you ever saw. I'm gonna show you people here. Some people, some of their comments they're attacking me, and um, I have a little bit of something to say um, about Roseburg, more so than other people. Than this guy here. Let me do a screen share here, so you can see what an idiot moron my own family is. I'm gonna show this guy, and I'm gonna tell you, Jeffrey, I hate you. This is my cousin Jeffrey right here, and I hate him. He's cousins with Samuel Fallon. That's my nephew that lives in Roseburg. Um, 7 mutual friends. I don't know who they all are. But, dude, I hate this guy. Now listen to what this idiot says. This is what I say. My regret, this is Pops. So he goes, my regrets to family and friends. When these people are irritated, I have, I got a big statement. I do not listen to Obama's plan. I don't listen to when the guy comes on TV and he does this thing like he did with my hometown, and he come out and talked about the place. I don't ever listen to any of those speeches. I got caught up the other day because it was where I'm from, so I listened to it, and I think he's full of hate. I think he's really evil when it comes to Christians. He's not ever going to call people like this a terrorist. He's going to say that there's some kind of ingrown, homegrown threat to us buying purchasing firearms. So tell me the firearm plan where all the laws regarding somebody with a firearm, not purchasing a firearm or ammunition. I'm talking about somebody who has already had one, right? So there's not enough laws on the books. We have to make more trouble for ourselves. Now, I can agree that if this guy was was on the cops' radar, and if this guy was um, just had been released out of a mental ward or something, or out of jail or something, what's the amount of time that should you wait until this guy goes to the doctor and then somehow he's cleared to a doctor somehow? So he's no longer, or are we going to argue that if somebody is insane, right, they should never have a firearm? So I don't know how you expect to um, portray these criminals like this if you can't do a profile on people like this. So they can, what the Obama administration has done since he's been in there, and this is why I call people like Jeffrey Obama fly, is because unless you're talking up Obama for some reason, like he helped you with food stamps or something, because that's what he's all about, is helping you out. He's the government. He get you on HUD, on food stamps. He's gonna get you on welfare. He'll get you your Social Security. So, so already, if he's got you on Social Security, he's got you down there to where the government controls you not being able to purchase a firearm. So what he did, what these liberals do, and they're getting away with it, is because of the help of the Obama flies and the Democrat flies, these liberals, they are going after citizens. So citizens are more like subjects, and then they might even become less than subjects here, just depending on how much the hate actually shows whenever you elect a leader and you're a wimp because you won't stand up for yourself or admit that you need a firearm to protect yourself. And then other people want to say, oh, you can't have a firearm because I can have a firearm, you know? All these people, I have a Second Amendment right to bear arms as a United States citizen, but yet I have a million laws in front of me that's going to try to dictate to whether or not I can possess it or not. Regardless if I'll ever be a harm or not, that's still my right. Spilling that, I'm in the line of people that would use it for protection. So, um, just hope that I'm not ever in a situation like that. But if you are, and when you have a firearm, and you see somebody going crazy, don't do like what the people did at UCC and didn't go in, stop the guy after he shot maybe one person, maybe two people. Should have been it. If you had a firearm, citizens should have acted. I would say I don't appreciate people having firearms out in society if they're not willing to stop some crazy prick and just let him shoot 9 to 10 people to death. If I go and get a gun and somebody like that, I'm gonna be a cop, an American citizen ass cop. If I see some crazy ass lunatic out there, I'm gonna draw my gun. I'm gonna shoot at him, and that's a situation where you can shoot at somebody straight into their body with other people around, and it's less risky just killing him off and popping off wild shots at him and aiming wild like that and shooting at him to kill him. As long as you hit him and kill him, I mean, but still, it's like the only time you can really pull a gun out and shoot somebody to death like that in public. And you're actually a hero, not some crazy buffoon like this guy was. So, and would they do? Would they try to kill people some other way? Would there be some other way? I can see that if he had a box cutter, um, is people gonna just stand there and let him box cut them to death, or are they gonna run? You know, I don't know. People are lacking even pepper spray. So it really makes me question if we need a president. We'll get into that here in a second here. So I say, wait a minute, I expect to hear him express sympathy for the school and the victims, so was drawn into hearing his address after the fact. He disappointed me, and I was prepared, even though I admit I was sucked into believing for a second he might talk calmly for one, and show sorrow two, and control his political urges. But no, that's why it only took him 20 minutes to get on there, because he has only these political urges, and he appeals to these Obama flies that are getting welfare or food stamps, or maybe they live in some conservative's house in Roseburg, Oregon. They freaking somehow manipulate a way to get him booted out of his house first, and then where he moved, the people there weren't even respectful to him. When I moved out of the house there in Roseburg, I moved over to a quote unquote friend's house, and they told me they had moved a guy in there who broke into the window. Um, I guess they got him several keys several times. He lost them, so he came in through the window every night. For some reason, had something to do with the key or something. Then they just released that guy out of prison. So talk about not being allowed to have firearms. There's one right there, and the law works a lot of the time, most of the time. So, and then, so 4 months before I moved to Florida, I moved out of Roseburg. Um, they were telling me stuff like I was the only guy paying rent there. Well, because I couldn't afford to pay the electricity and some other utilities. But they had a guy living there for for quite some time. He had some money, and was able. He had arms and legs. He was fully capable of, you know, I'm not buying that. He shouldn't have been working somewhere and could have done that. So, but he ate all my food. I smoked at the time, so he bummed all my smoke. Um, they tried to do a couple of things, like they helped me with the electricity, but still, when they moved these guys in here, all of them bummed off of me, and they didn't. Well, the guy did. That one dude did, and um, I just did not like him. He was really weird person. Kind of like I don't know. He's from California. Like I said, where he was coming from, just didn't like him. Didn't get along with him. My friends there, they all kind of um just kind of left me hanging when it came to time for me to move out, and I wasn't able to afford my own house on my own, so I needed at least a roommate or a friend or somebody that could roommate with me, and they didn't. They didn't. So that's what ended up happening. So I ended up moving out here. Um, Anyways, so when I left there, Roseburg, I wasn't happy, and I didn't really feel like going back there anymore ever again. But I would love to prove people wrong and prove people just how intelligent I really am and point my potential. And I would like to get a teaching degree along with taking a gun defense class course, couple gun courses, and then I would like to um, just apply to go back to UCC, but as a teacher, and I'll wait as long as it takes for them to hire me. That's one of my goals now, and I'm gonna pray about it and see what if I could not get maybe the Lord to give me some input on where I should go and what I should do. If that's not the right move, because I don't want to do stuff that's not what God wants you to do anymore. So, anyways, he disappointed me, and I was prepared, even though I admit I was sucked into believing for a second he might talk calmly for one and show sorrow two and control his political urges three. But he didn't. It's a political thing. He even said it when he first addressed the thing. No, let's politicize this. Let's politicize this guy from England, but we won't say he's a terrorist. We won't say he's from England. We won't say that, I mean, Republic, and we'll go ahead and confuse him up with the Republican Party, and we'll say he's an American conservative Republican Party. I don't think that the guy even understood that. I think he thought that maybe our politics had something in common with the IRA, but it does not. There's a Irish terrorist organization, the IRA, not the Republican Party. So that's another misconception, and also that he would have went under the radar. There was no way to had determined this guy was going to do this at UCC, unless there's one way. The families, it's family. It's their obligation to um, turn these guys in to the authorities, and two would have been profiling. You could have profiled the guy and had at least had him under police suspicion. I don't know. I'm thinking of policing their time and with these terrorists and them wasting their time and them being stupid, malicious, freaking dumb kind of stupid tasks that cops do, while they could have had somebody at least the family or somebody from the school that could have had called some kind of hotline or something that said, "Hey, this dude is acting really weird." When I was thinking of, like, if I go back to college at UCC, the counseling office is a really good atmosphere. So I'm just like wondering what um, the people that went to school with this guy felt about him and what the counselor there has to say. The counselor, he's kind of an authority, isn't he? So he goes to a counselor there. He gets enrolled in the school. And you're telling me that the guy, the counselor, whoever talked to him, and anybody from the school didn't pick up any vibes from this guy? So again, we have no number to call if somebody's acting crazy or weird. And really, we're not allowed to share any of these traits to profile people that are possibly going to be able to do this. Because if there was a couple 4 days warning, people could have been prepared to not have gone to school that day, right? So the teacher would have been in there by himself more than likely. So, anyways, many sorrows to my old, most favorite school in the world, Qual College. It was my favorite because It was a community college, but they really have their shit together at Umpqua. That's all I can really say. Sorry for the curse word, but it's true. It's one way how I can describe it. I went to I didn't go there to other um, community colleges. I went and talked to them about enrolling in there, and I was not interested. They just turned me away, as all the other schools did. So, didn't even have me interested in it. And I paid for my own class before at UCC. The teacher had to leave on emergency business. It was writing 121. Everybody in the class was going to get an A, and I was having some problems or something. I couldn't make it to school, and I didn't know. But I went there and dropped out, and the ladies in the office in the building couldn't tell me that I was going to get an A. I guess I don't know. And don't drop your class. Don't do it. They just kept telling me, "Are you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that?" Instead of telling me, "Dude, just don't." You know, they couldn't tell me what was going on, so I went and dropped the class. I was going to get an A in. Anyways, it's just ironic sometimes how life works. This is truly sad, but brings me back great memories of some good memories. The place is awesome. Um, Real beautiful. It reminds me of like peaceful Indians, not the warmongering Indians. Umpqua reminds me of peaceful Indians that sit down, choke with you with a peace pipe. You know, uh, I'd hope that they're honest people if you actually sat down with the Umpqua Indians. You were respectful, anyways. I'd just say, um, sorry, but we all have to move along sometimes. Yeah, I gotta say something. Miriam Kittleman, the lady who they had talk on Fox News, she was one of our representatives there. Now, I must say, I have to tell you, I'm percentage Indian. I have Indian ancestors, close to uh, me now. I mean, that are not that far off on my bloodline and my family tree. So, um, I'm native, part native, and Marion Kittleman is not for the Native Americans. She's not for the Indians. Helping Roseburg, helping the area out. As a matter of fact, they had Marion Kittleman come on there, and if she hadn't opposed the Umpqua Indians as much as she did with other city councilmen in Roseburg, the Indians would have made um, recreational facilities and places for people to go to so they wouldn't lose their minds at times or whatever is going on there. They just don't want to. They weren't willing to work with the Indians. I'm conservative, very much so, but um, I am surely not going to turn my back against the Native Americans in America. So, anyways, how are liberal allowed to even argue things regarding my safety like this? Is my life not important? I thought all lives mattered. If you can make a life better, make it better. Yeah, that's what I said right here. And then you can understand where I'm coming from. I just said I'm part Native American. So is this idiot too. So he has absolutely no excuse. And I hate him because he come up here and got all stupid on here and I'm gonna read what he said, and then he got his mother involved, which is a sick lady, who's been in and out of the hospital. Speaking of socialist programs, that um, Oregon Health Plan has been trying to kill this guy's mother off, and he's sitting there supporting Obama. And anyways, his mother, they're trying to kill her off from the socialist Oregon Health Plan right now. So any liberal piece of crap that believes anything Obama says is a fool. He came on and said this 2 days after. See that? 2 days. And it says, um, that is really unbelievable. Anybody would say that. See, I said this after he said that. What he said. Let's see. He took the comment off. I'm gonna look it up because he's sitting there trying to say that he's not talking about us. I'm gonna look it up. And this idiot said, some other idiot. He come on there and he's telling me, man, if you got weapons or anything, you should go and turn them in and dirt on yourself. Yeah, if I did, I shouldn't tell you about it. Tell you, know that I have them if I had any. Definitely should not tell someone that because he sounds like a bully. Like somebody that just come on there and push you around, or you need to turn your guns over. When was it? October 2nd. When did he say that? Let's see. October 6th. So it was October 6th. The 6th. Jeffrey. See if I can go back. Yeah, right here. Here's what he said. This is my cousin idiot. I disowned him. I just told him I disowned him, and I hate him. I really hate you, Jeffrey, because you brought your mother and other people. I'm sure you're telling your side of the version of what happened, but I hate your guts. Please don't talk about me to other people. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country, but I'm done with you, and I hate your guts. And this is why, right here. This is what he said about Obama, right here. He erased it, but here is what he said. I tracked it down. It says, I respect absolutely everything he said in his in address. See, he's so jumpy to say this, so quick to say this that he couldn't put this in his address. He is right. Thoughts and prayers are not enough. Stricter gun laws. No, wait a second. You asked this guy right here, Jeffrey, are you a Christian? Or do you believe in God? I don't think he does. I think he's coming from an atheist type of non-Christian type of believing. So we'll ignore that. This is an attack on Christians. Christians should give up all their guns, turn their cheeks, don't have a right to be separate from government. or all these other people, if they're gonna be a bunch of, they're gonna stab each other in the back, leave me out of it. But no, because of Obama and everybody else come here, they gotta suck you in and draw you right into the middle of all this. Surrender our country and all of our rights. So it's Obama's fly. Jeffrey, the Obama fly right here. Stricter gun laws are needed in this country. Really. Because this last guy, he was not gonna be caught. He was not gonna be caught. The last gunman, right? He wasn't gonna be on the cops' radar, was he? Break that little fly's neck. I'm not squishing him. He's been flying around in my room all day, so I came up with the Obama flies. Back to our story. So, Jeffrey says stricter gun laws are needed. We need regular mental health screening. Are you mentally health, Jeffrey? Oh, and can I tell you something? Stop right there again. I'm sorry for keep interrupting this, but in Roseburg, Oregon, they took away all of their mental health facilities. So they can't even help mentally ill people or even track mentally ill patients. So I don't know what you think Obama is going to do, Jeffrey. Fly of Obama, fly Jeffrey. Whenever, obviously, the Democrats have to do what they wanted to do, and that's disarm everybody. They'll go after our ammo, so we can't get ammo for. We go buy the gun, but we can't get ammunition, or or they'll make it so that you can't get a gun, or they'll outgun us. Who's they? The enemy, the terrorist. Obama's ISIS will outgun us if we give up our stuff. So here we go. An IQ test. An IQ test. So they need to take an IQ test too. Is this guy serious? Dude, if this guy here had to take an IQ test, I think he would fail to get a gun. No wonder he doesn't want other people to have them, because he wouldn't qualify. Far too many idiotic psychopaths have guns, and because of that, far too many innocent people are killed here. If this isn't a good time to call for stricter gun laws, then when, I ask. Okay. It was one thing that he said. Let's see here. I don't hate Obama at all. In fact, quite the opposite. Like, absolutely. Sorry if I offended you guys. Yeah, he offended us. I'll show you. I'll show you why. Talking about you. Okay. He called people a bunch of hicks. What he said was, he said that anybody who doesn't want Obama to come down here is just a dumb redneck hick. That's what he said. So I'm just trying to look it up where he said it. Yeah. I said, and people like you need to work for a living. Go shove your crap down someone else's throat. I don't want to hear anymore your crap. When you have paid your dues, I'll listen. And again, I'm trying to find it, but the guy said that anybody who is a fool. I can't find it, but again, the fly said that only dumb rednecks don't want Obama to come down there. And then that's why he said this eventually at the end. I wasn't talking about you guys, about people on the news here. And sorry. Well, I don't know what idiots like you think that who you think you're talking to if you say that I'm sitting there talking about I don't want him to go down there. I don't believe in what he's saying. But but you're not talking about us. Unbelievable. And the fact that I can't look it up because it seems to not be in there. I have to try at least one more time looking in October 7th and it's in October 6th. It only says 2. Further down. Oh, one more over. Right then. This is where it was. Let's do this right here. Yeah, see, other people think that, and this guy, he ain't fucking crazy at all. This McDonald's guy, he's about as sane of a person as I've ever seen anybody. And he thought it was good for them to stand up for themselves like that. So, I don't see it. It was after he commented on it. Right after that, the guy goes, the only people around here that don't want Obama to come down here are dumb hillbilly rednecks. Alright, we're sitting there saying that, so he called that guy a dumb redneck too. Incredible. Well, I don't really know what else to say. That's my most recent personal experience. I'm shutting down the Facebook. I don't know what else to say. People, that's really retarded. For some people, that's really stupid. So, I'm sure I can come up with a couple more personal attacks and people losing their head for Obama and really being a backstabber for a guy who has has only pinned us up against each other. The only things that he goes after, he sits around all day long until some kind of crazy thing happens like this, and the only thing he goes after is something that has nothing to do with America or Americans except for the fact that this guy killed Americans at a American community college. He was not an American, so it sounds more like an international problem to me. So we're mixing up international problems with our own uh, um, countries, our own personal problems here in America, because we can box them all in and box them all up. If we're Obama, we could make a legitimate story about all of this stuff. You know, the guy Obama, he's not even good at propaganda anymore. He's not. He has no charisma. So, really, again, I have no idea up to this point why anybody would be following him unless they're caught up in the hype still. They're like, oh yeah, I'm all up Obama's butt. The weakest um, piece of garbage, that American hater. Obama is just a hater. He really is, and he's a coon. So, anyways, do we need a president? If the president has been only going against us and our country, and he pins our other countrymen against us, it doesn't matter who or what for, but it's for his political agenda. So we're gonna live with it, right? I'm just saying, you you either have a president that gets sworn into office that is going to uphold his right and his oath to the, you know, whatever the duty of being president. But with this guy here lately, I would vote yes on getting rid of the president, the Congress, and all of the Senate, and just make them take away their pay too. Don't even pay them. Just pay the military. Have them come and report to us. If the news want to do news, that's fine. But let the FBI and other people get involved with those places too, and actually fine all of those people and places for lying. So if they say something that turns out to be propaganda, something for our enemies' interest and favor, not American interest, make it so that CNN or NBC or MSNBC or even Fox News, any of them, can be sued down the road. And like I said again, have our military just report into us. But I would really like to see how it goes, because right now we have a terrorist that is um, basically taught and bred and made by the sand terrorists, the sand coon terrorists. Is that how you say that? Sand coon terrorists that come over here to try and plot on America, just like this guy. No wonder Obama was so mad and has to take our guns away, because we have to make sure that we're unarmed. But people who come here from England or anywhere else, we got to make sure we arm them like a mob. We arm them, then we disarm us, so that we don't know us Americans have any guns or anything, and we're gonna go ahead and let Obama uh, prove to us that we need to be manipulated with other people's foreign laws and stuff like that. Rules like take your guns away, like English law or something. How is it working over there for them taking the guns away from all those people? And again, and they live in a real close proximity. I don't know that it's too illegal for them to have firearms out in the country, but a lot of people in this place, regardless if they're kind of loony or not, should be allowed to protect their own self because basically, if you let Obama pass his gun law thing, you're going to have every woman in America falls right along the line of that mental illness thing. Every single female. So you could say, oh well, that's natural, but they're going to be scrutinized by the law, and then they're going to be treated like criminals, especially if they go and try and dare go try and buy a gun or possess one. So we're scrutinizing mentally ill people. We're going to mark them for life. They can't ever be, change diagnosis for them. There's no rehabilitation in mental illness. We got to keep that in mind here. So you can rehabilitate a criminal, but you can't rehabilitate mental illness or somebody if they're mentally retarded. You Retardation is not a curable thing. So I see how like in the gutter and in the toilet our society is gone with help from the government and people like Obama. They'll employ these stupid laws and rules that will make medical technology and knowledge um, basically meaningless. So it's like all the time, effort, and money spent into people's welfare and us being better people gets taken away because they bought that sucker Obama's baloney crap, became an Obama fly, when enough of them elected the guy so that he could come and attack us on a daily basis. Doesn't matter what it is, he's gonna walk right on top of all these poor people that were killed innocently. So I see exactly what kind of tramp we're dealing with here. I can't believe how disappointed I am up to this point. These guys would be stabbing their own American country people in the back. So let's say this one last thing I want to leave you with is a scenario. So here's the scenario. So so a guy comes in. He's a family, he's a relative. This guy learns something about his family. Something's going on. So he gets hostile. He loses his head for a minute. 1 minute. Costs him his whole life for losing his head for 1 minute because his family did something to irk him or set him off. And he can't deal with it, and that's the way he deals with it. So this guy, he grabs a gun and he holds his whole family up. So everybody who's there now is like, oh, we need to have guns taken away. Oh, well, wait a second. Somebody, relative, family member to the guy. It was not the guy's gun that he grabbed. It was one of his relatives' guns. How was it so easily obtained? How did he know exactly where the firearm was? You know, and this is the type of thing you're going to blame 100% on the person who did the shooting when you want to try to call him crazy a little bit. When as crazy as that sounds to me, because I think it's just a complete criminal act altogether. Somebody just acting criminal. They're acting crazy, yeah, but it's a criminal act, not an insane act. Maybe a criminally insane act, maybe. But anyways, so um, the people who had the gun lying around, however the guy had access to the firearm, we're not even gonna even judge or question that. If we were a liberal, we're going to go straight to the gun manufacturer and we want to know why he's even selling guns to anybody in the first place. And don't you talk. You better not talk. You better not speak. When we ask you a question, you better sit there and shut your face. When we liberals ask you a question, you better not even freaking tell us nothing, you know. So there's a lot of things going on in the world. I just don't know how much this guy wouldn't have been on police radar. Police wouldn't have been able to have stake this guy out. They're going to stake out actual U.S. citizens. I guarantee you that day that the Roseburg PD was out there doing investigations and their own things and whatnot on some other person, on something else. Okay, they might have been ready for this thing to happen like that and to take it on full brunt, full force, head on. They did a good job in an area like that. I commend them. They are very fully tactical, very awesome. It's like the Armory, the National Guard in Roseburg. Top notch military guard. So anyway, so this guy couldn't have been pursued. Is it because he's a foreigner? Is it because of something Obama said or did? We cannot. We're going to jeopardize ourselves with political correctness even more because we can't even talk about some way some people act, and if they're a foreigner or something like that, we have to get on board with this politically correct crap, and we can't screen people. You know, um, what is it? Some way or another, this guy should have been investigated. I would really like to know when this is all said and done. I'd like to scrutinize the FBI and law enforcement and other places and people, especially if this guy is somewhere on social media and he is actually saying something morbid like this. This is, I know it's the guy's beyond morbid, but I'm expressing a morbid thing or thought that the guy had. He said that the more people that you kill, the more time that you're going to be in the media, the more attention you get, pretty much, more or less. So, and that there, because they're focused on other people, the IRS, taxes, and other nonsense that just like you, they're probably, what they're doing is they're studying how to get even with some Republicans. A bunch of Republicans that go to work basically are the only people that pay for all of those social programs. You wouldn't even have all those rich people like Oprah and all those other people would not ever have a dollar without there being conservative people. So take all the conservative people away and then they have no funds. They have no way of being paid. So, but yet, that's who they scrutinize. I'm sure that's who our authorities look at instead of looking at terrorists or our enemy in particular and other people uh, that aren't even from here, aren't even American refugees, and then they want to cram. I mean, as many of our enemies down our throats, refugees. What are they? What are they? So that's the humane thing to do, huh? Wow. The point that we've got right here, where we're going to allow this guy to talk to us like that, and our own family is going to sit there, live in our old house, sit there, be a complete bum. I don't even know what the guy does with his time. He sits there and plays video games all day. Does he work? From what I understand, his mom's sick. Our family went and helped the guy get that Jeffrey Anderson guy. Let me look at what it says. Nah, I'm not worried about it. He lives in Roseburg, but he's not even from Roseburg. He grew up a little bit in Roseburg. but he's from California. But anyway, so he's um, basically sitting in my old house, um, telling me that people, which is a probably about 85% of that whole town is conservative and are all Republican. A lot of them won't tell you how they vote, but you can see how they vote when a vote goes down in Oregon, from Roseburg's perspective point of view. So this California, liberal California numbskull is living there in my house. And do you know that I was always busy. I always was doing something. My main thing was plants. Would sit there and worked on the property. I was trying to make the yard look beautiful. And then somebody came in there and freaking uh, basically I moved out from that point. Lived there for about 17 years in that same house, and was basically forced out by somebody who had a house, sold their house when the market was high, got the high end money for it, then bought a house for cheap in Roseburg. Instead of being able to live with their family and orchestrate everything and live in their house, they live in my old house. So I can't even go to that place and live in my old house. It's swarmed with a bunch of these people that just live and sponge off of my family, and it's my family, not theirs. I don't care. They weren't born. They weren't born to my mother and father, but yet my mother and father would probably sit there and defend these guys and stick up for them and keep their help with them and the authorities and Obama. They deserve to live in your house and you deserve to live on the road, you know, kind of shit. That happened in Roseburg. So I'm gonna write a damn book about my time in Roseburg. Is what I'm gonna call it. My time in Roseburg, and then I'll use the money to go back to school to be a teacher, and then I will go back to school. Or I'll go back to Umpqua and be a teacher there. I'll buy my own house somewhere close to there off the North Umpqua or something. I was thinking going north of Winchester in Wilbur, I believe it is Wilbur, somewhere out by Bayliner, past Bayliner, but not as far as Sutherland. Somewhere uh, out in the country, a little bit out there where it's a little bit far for my family, where they can't come bother me, and I could be that close to the UCC. That's what I would do if I could orchestrate that. That's what I would do with the money. I'd start taking care of my own self. I see a lot of people doing the right things, or nice things, but right now, um, because of the situations that I've been in, I'm not really here to make any money for other people or make money for Obama and this nonsense and for this continuous left-leaning, left-ball attack on my rights, on every single one of my rights. And they're going to attack my freedom of speech. They're going to say, oh, because the way that I talk, oh, you can't own a gun. Well, we weren't talking about me owning a gun until some crazy, now they got me saying it's crazy. Criminally insane, deranged foreigner guy. He's not even crazy like American crazy. He's foreigner English or something, Northern English crazy. Um, Ireland, Irish, IRA crazy. So criminally insane is what it is. Um, and some of the people do acts like that in those places where they're used to terrorism. I mean, it's common, so they don't. They know, like what I'm saying. They will refrain from calling them crazy, and they'll say it's a terrorist act. It's a criminal act. So, but yet we have here this guy come here to attack our American sovereignty and our rights and make us less less than citizens, less than subjects. You get that English people are subjects, so we're basically probably subjects right now, at least to the government we are. To them we do not have constitutional rights. People who come here, foreigners, are the ones with the rights, they think. I'm sure of it. But I don't know what else to say, I think. But I absolutely hate your guts for doing that, Jeffrey, and then sitting there and acting like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call everybody in Roseburg dumb redneck hick." And then he goes and deletes what he said. He gets my mom all upset after he goes and gets his mom all upset because what I said to him was, "Dude, hey, if you're living in my house, would you please leave? I don't have the authority to kick him out of there, but I have the freedom of speech. I can ask him to leave." So he's supposed to be there to take care of his mother, which I was saying he doesn't. He's not gonna take care of his mother. He's a lazy bum. So, but yet it's an excuse for him to stay at my old house, at my house in Roseburg, um, with his mom because his mom needs him so desperately there. Um, I'm not I'm not with any of those people. Um, I have no concerns about any of them. I would I would very briefly hang out with any of them, and I don't know. There's only a couple people in my family there that I would even friend or be friends with or act like I'm their friend if I was there, and I would pretend with some of them that everything's cool or all right, but I really don't want to see them. I don't want anything to do with them. I can't believe that that I had been thrown under the bus so many times when I could have um, had so many um, positive things that could turn events for me. But they have people that are up against me all the time, whether they're jealous or um, they just don't like to hear the truth sometimes. I don't know. Or maybe they really thought that I didn't deserve um, to, be a person that comes up in the world. You know, maybe that's what it was. Everybody collectively, just when they looked at me, they'll take advantage. They'll let me go to their school. They'll let me um, live in their society. And until it comes to the point where they see me walking around on the road because I have no house to live in. I don't know. All I know is I'm not looking. I don't even look at owning stuff or being in society in particular anymore. I look at, what am I gonna do? I'm thinking of the wilderness aspect, basically. Further past the country. I mean, out, blam, in the sticks, just in the woods. Whatever goes, just wild stuff out there and dealing with that instead of people. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think of like owning a car or a house or having a job anymore. I just think of survival, like real survival of the fittest. Uh, and that's it. I don't care because These people want to go ahead and throw me under the bus for some idiot moron. It comes down to Roseburg when the people asked him over and over again, please don't come down here, go golf or whatever the hell they were telling them. I told people that that's what they were going to do, but instead we're going to go ahead and go with this ludicrousy, idiocracy, um, because of something that they get from the government or something that they do for them. So we have the Obama flies, and I'm calling all you dumb Obama flies out. You should all go commune and live in your own community somewhere and have it separated. Maybe we could do the cities that way, where we'll make one side conservative and one side liberal. We'll go ahead and truly let the conservatives take care of their own selves and then let the liberals take care of themselves without sponging off the conservatives anymore, and see how long that lasts and see if they don't have to come beg. So you got a beggar, a guy Obama, who's basically a guy who begs for food or begs for whatever else that you put in the White House. Him and his wife and all of them are beggars. So we simply have people who don't know how to do anything in particular, like a job or anything like that. So, but he can talk a lot of shit because that's what he was taught, what Obama was taught. But when it comes down to it, there he's a beggar. So you have a beggar sitting there telling all of us because you spoiled this beggar who would basically come in, oh, please feed me, please give me some food, I'm hungry, please, I starved myself, but please. That's Obama. So you made somebody like that, you spoiled him, and now he's like irate with us. You made me beg. You made me do this. You made me do that. You made me into the evil hater monger Obama fly that I am. Because Obama is a fly. So anyway, so um, you got a beggar sitting there begging. Oh, oh, please feed me some food. Please give me some food. Oh, or it's like this. He is the fly. Here's Obama. He's on my nose. He's on my nose, and I won't swat it. I won't swat it off my nose. I hate the fact that this guy pins us up against each other like this. But I'd really like to see him knocked off of his high horse. So, and that'll be his curse. So, I curse you, I curse you, I curse you. I curse all those that are against me. You want to not believe, be non-believers. Um, so then we're gonna ignore the fact that they pinpointed Christians in this case also. So I just wanted to say, if you good for you, you don't believe in it, but I curse you for coming down to my place like that, where I'm from. I didn't go down to where you're from, down in Kenya, you know. So maybe we should. Maybe we should ought to eventually, when we take America back, maybe we should ought to aim our missiles at Kenya for part of this and be their enemy, be their straight up enemy, invade them, invade Kenya, kick them right in their face. I don't know what else to say or do. I think, um, but Obama truly is a moron. Um, uh, I don't know how you could get any more moronical than maybe his flies, the Obama flies. But so he's gonna be irate with everybody. He's pissed off um, because basically America did something to the world or something. They're full of crap, and then they've got our own people doing it, our own family does this. They've got this political correctness crap in America. And I just want to say you guys are cursed, and I hate you for using my town, place where I'm from, and not keeping it a quiet town and off the radar and not subject to public debate or talk or scrutiny. I really hate you guys for using it and for even talking about the place at all, not even being from the place. So I curse you. I curse you all a sickness that won't go away. It'll be unstoppable from medical um, perspective, medical point of view. The only way that you could stop it is by being born again, saved Christian. That's what I curse you with. A slow, time, tedious death of an ailment, an illness. I do, and I mean it from inside deeply.